Okay, so tonight I'm here with Dylan and Brady White. They are SoCal based, also Nevada based. Kind of got a couple of different spots, but I've known Dylan and Brady for, has it been 2.5 years now?
Something like that. Like it might be almost. Well, let me think, because it was back in like 2019 we met.
Yeah, 2019, maybe around two.
Yeah, probably two.
It was like October-ish, so when we started riding together and all the.
Yeah, I think September is when like we actually started like our first group ride or something like that.
Yeah.
Like full Imperium group ride.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. We've done a lot of group rides since then. Some have been really fun. Some, I don't think anyone's gotten hurt.
You got hurt.
Dane did. I got hurt. I got a little hurt at one of them, but I was fine. I still rode.
I still feel so bad about that.
No, I feel bad. I remember we did Skyline Eagle that one time. And
Oh yeah,
road, you just ate it.
it's so hard.
Yeah, but yeah. So they've been this year. You guys traveled a lot and did a lot of races. So I just wanted to kind of show people a little bit of how you guys have developed and learn a little bit about you guys. So let's jump into it. The first one that I have for you is that. So I know that all the like NICA people and like local riders to you guys know you guys as the cyclists, mountain bikers, really good cyclists, all your like Strava times in Laguna and everything, but maybe not a lot of them know that before you started cycling, you guys were actually really big into skateboarding and doing trips like that. And I just wanted to ask a little bit about like what prompted you guys to do that transition, and then kind of what are some of the differences in the two sports?
Okay, so surprisingly, I actually started mountain biking before Brady did. I think I rode for like a good 9 months before Brady had gotten a bike. And I remember, I think it was a guy my dad worked with. He lives in the canyon, like Laguna Canyon, and like right next to the trails at the end of this trail called TNA or something. And he had this little club. It was called Laguna Canyon Riders, and it was for kids who just want to start mountain biking and stuff like that, but didn't really have anyone to go with or anything, because a lot of the trails out here are kind of dangerous for little kids to be on.
Yeah, not kid friendly, not for beginners.
Really isn't, but that's what it kind of. I'm thankful that I had that, and unfortunately, it's not a thing anymore. But I'm glad that they had it. And then I did like a season of NICA my freshman year.
Your freshman year? Okay.
My freshman, and I wasn't very serious about this, because I was still skateboarding too at the time, but it was just kind of a side thing, and it was just because I needed a sport over skateboarding, because I didn't really have a sport other than skateboarding.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of did help me a lot. Like even today, I even feel myself get less sore when skating sometimes. Like it's nice to have like fitness and stuff like that, because before then I just skated. I didn't really think of strength or like any kind of just be good at skating. That's all I thought about.
Yeah. So you're saying that it was maybe like 9 months before Brady got a bike?
Yeah, he actually. So my parents make fun of him all the time about this. Is he came back from our first mountain bike ride. It wasn't even really a ride. It was just a roam around top of the world. Uh-huh. And he goes, "It's too hard." And and my parents make fun of him to this day about it. And he didn't do it. He still continued skateboarding and stuff, but then he tried again at Vail. Like he rented like this Haro bike at Vail, and me and him went riding, and he was just like cruising down Tunnel of Love, and he just kept eating it over and over and over again. He kept getting back up and doing it.
Dang, was it fun? Why did you keep doing it, Brady?
Yeah, dude, I remember going down Tunnel of Love and just thinking it was like the gnarliest thing ever. And yeah, uh, yeah, I had a few crashes and bent the bars too, but like it was fun. Like it was exciting. And yeah, like we moved to California about 6 years ago, so we were skateboarders before that and just like constantly skating. We lived in like Henderson, Las Vegas area, so there's a lot of good like street skating and skate parks. But um, like there's a lot of good skate parks and street skating in SoCal too. But like specifically where we live in Laguna, there isn't really any opportunities to do that. Like the
Okay.
closest skate park is like 30 minutes away, and you have to wear like a helmet and full pads and stuff. So
I feel like that's good though.
$5.
yeah,
Eight
it's
my
kind of
bucks
lame.
for a
You
year.
can't you can't street skate anywhere here. You'll get busted too quickly. But
Wait, it costs money to go to skate parks?
Some
yeah,
skate parks, yeah.
What?
yeah. So that was kind of a bust. So when we moved here, we kind of just needed a new sport. And yeah, as Dylan said, he was riding for like a whole year before I started.
Dang,
And
why did it take you that long though?
I don't really
Long
know.
time.
Yeah, I was watching him do it. It looked fun. I was just like on the sidelines at the races and stuff, and just like started riding around at the races and stuff and meeting people. And I guess that's what got me into it.
Yeah. Dang, that's cool. Well, what are some of the differences that you've noticed? Maybe like culturally from like cycle
Yeah,
to skateboard or things like that.
yeah. Like there's a lot of things that translate over, but then there's like a lot of differences. So I'd say like there's a lot of like core and balance in skateboarding. So a lot of that carries over. So like just like your skills in general. So
Yes.
we were both kind of just like natural learners when we started. So that was good. But in terms of like the sport, it's completely different. So like
And
I mean,
also, you have to remember that like skateboarding was also like a completely different place for where it is now, like in the Olympics and everything, compared to like what it was like 5 years ago. You know.
Mm-hmm.
they're both pretty individual sports if you think about it. Like you can make it pretty individual.
Yeah, it's all about like how much time you want to dedicate to it. And I
Yeah,
know how skateboarding works, but I imagine it's like a score based on your tricks.
yeah, we didn't really do any competitions. Did a
Okay.
few,
Yeah.
but like most of it's just for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for
At
sure.
least we had like at least we like knew how to kind of like kill ourselves because there'd be days where we'd spend like 5 hours at a time just skating and like
That's
100,
insane. In the
like 100
heat.
degree, yeah, like 100-degree Las Vegas heat. So you kind of get some things from that, like suffering, being able to fall over and over and get back up. So yeah,
It's like perseverance.
yeah.
Yeah. Dang. What about you, Dylan? Anything culturally that's a little bit different?
So definitely, I see the more competitive side of cycling, and what's cool about cycling is, and mountain biking in particular, you could do anything with it. You could race seriously, you could race cross country, enduro, downhill, and you can do all those disciplines, but just for fun.
Mhm.
And at the same time be competitive. And now what skateboarding has allowed, now it's in the Olympics there and everything. And even though there were contests and stuff like that, it wasn't as high end as what it is now, and it wasn't as competitive. But now there is that variability in that sport of skateboarding, and I see that variability in mountain biking and cycling in general as well too.
Yeah. And I know that you guys, had moved to Laguna, but Laguna is kind of a legendary place for mountain biking, right?
Yeah.
So how is it kind of learning learning to ride there? And then as over the last couple of years, you guys have gone to like travel more with your bikes. And like, how does, you know, now looking at Laguna, you're like, oh man, we're so blessed to have this in our backyard.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to have in our backyard from like the day I started mountain biking to now. It's just
Yeah.
like it's a good place to I wouldn't say it's not really a great place to learn because the trails are pretty gnarly, but it's like a good opportunity. There's a lot of good people. When we first started like the whole mountain bike team, there's a bunch of really cool guys like Hans Ray and Brian Lopes and all these other guys. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Legends.
yeah, legends. And yeah, it's just a lot of community and stuff that helps.
Yeah. 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 So I know that, so I've been riding myself for a long time. I think maybe 10 years this year. Oh,
Congrats.
yeah, yeah. Um, I've had a lot of really like fun times, like riding, racing, and traveling. But I think one of the coolest things is when I got to, there were years when I was on a team with my brother and when I wasn't. But I think those years where I was, it just made it like it amplified that experience just so much more. So how was kind of that experience for you guys?
Well, I could say like relative to Imperium, like when we first joined and met you and everything, and it was a blessing to have the same coach, kind of have the same workouts, and obviously like we're at different levels. We race at different levels. We have different things that work for each other, and but at the same time, you still don't feel like disconnected or anything because you still get to go have fun with like all the Imperium guys and everything and be together at the same time. There's no team thing going on really. It's just a team of having fun and just community really. That's kind of what Imperium is.
Yeah. What about you, Brady? Did you enjoy kind of being part of it, getting to hang out with your brother, going different places?
Yeah, and kind of like you and Amma, me and Dylan don't really like ride that much to be honest.
Yeah,
So
together. Yeah,
yeah, like so it is nice when we ride together, but we often do have like different workouts and schedules and stuff. So um we do a lot of like individual riding, but yeah, like it's good when we get to ride together, but we don't really need to ride together because we're always just around each other and
yeah.
like being with each other, like going to races and like that whole environment just it helps a lot having an older brother and just someone else to take advice from, give advice to, and just like be around.
Is it was it like ever motivating? Maybe when one of you guys are like not feeling like super about it, like you don't want to go to the gym or you don't want to ride that hard that day. Does it help to have someone like, bro, you got to get after it, like get it?
Yeah.
I mean, when you wake up in the morning, like we kind of do have different schedules, especially Brady when he had such a busy school schedule. Like there were times he was staying up till like midnight or even past that to do his schoolwork, and I'd be in bed by like 10:30, 11 or something like that, just asleep and
Yeah.
getting ready for tomorrow's intervals or something because
Yep.
I need to get rest. And Brady's getting up later because he had to stay up all night to do his schoolwork, and
Yeah.
it is different, and especially because like the fact that Brady was taking on high school loads and college loads at the same time, while me was just my college classes. So I
Yeah.
had to read that, and plus along with the how flexible it was too, especially like your freshman year. Your freshman year in college is usually it's pretty chill, honestly.
And I know you brought up, Brady doing high school and college classes. How did you, I mean, you raced at such a competitive level, Brady. Like what, like how'd you balance? That's a lot.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been taking high school and college classes since my sophomore year, and it's just been pretty like nonstop since then. And I took on like the most amount of load, school and riding and racing wise, like this year. So that was a lot to balance. And yeah.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
want to hear something funny too? Is that technically he's actually in my grade, even though we're like almost 3 years apart.
Yeah. Just because all the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that is insane. Dude, good job, man. No,
Yeah.
I see the hustle.
Yeah. And like back to the motivation thing, me and Dylan have like a lot of competition between each other. So I feel like that's where a lot of the motivation comes from. So it's like if he's like doing something cool, I want to do something cool. So
Yeah.
we both like kind of treat it as like competition, friendly competition with each other, and that helps with the motivation side of things. So
Yeah. And what's like, okay, let me ask you, is what's more motivating? Like coming off of a really good results or a good performance or like a good interval session, or is like doing bad and like that negative, like, oh man, I gotta step it up, I gotta do better. Which one's more motivating to you guys?
I do like seeing good like numbers for intervals and stuff like that. Like I remember the day I was supposed to leave for nationals. I'm not going to disclose my power numbers or anything. I don't want to say it to anyone on here. They put my Strava, I guess. I don't hide that stuff, but I'm not going to disclose it. You could look for yourself. But
do your own research.
Dude,
yeah,
you gotta plug your Strava, Dylan.
you gotta scroll all the way down to the back to May or something. But I remember I hit good numbers, and I had hit all the numbers I wanted to on the 3-minute intervals. And for the last one, I was like, dude, I'm gonna do all out. And then it was probably like I'm gonna guess like 15 watts over what I've ever like really usually done for like 3 minutes. I'm like, dude,
I'm in shape. Yeah.
I know. And then even on the ride home, like I didn't feel much of it. On the ride home, I was like, dude, I still feel amazing. I'm ready for Nats.
That's good. No, that's huge. Yeah. So it's not like executing a good workout, doing good. That's yeah. What about you, Brady?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it just all comes together, that's like the best part. So
Yeah.
like getting motivation from doing good at a race or doing good in intervals, or like feeling like my nutrition's dialed or like my weight's dialed. Like I like when all those things come together, and like even when I get a bad result, it's still like, I don't know.
It's like not super demotivating because
Yeah.
you've done like the process stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, no, I always
Brady,
remember.
he never lets that bother him.
That's good.
Never
No.
lets a bad result bother him. Like I remember when he was at Soho, he had a disappointing performance for him, and it just really didn't get to him. And especially after getting the vaccine and during the second Arkansas race, when he pulled out, he didn't have a poor attitude about it. And I'm like, man, I learned a lot from that too. Like when something bad happened to me, I just didn't have a poor attitude about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's huge. So what are some of the highlights from this season?
You want to go first, Dylan?
What? Yeah.
I'd say so. My highlight is like my favorite day of like all the races and stuff is watching Brady race, especially for how much he's improved. And for instance, when we went to Arkansas, that was his first UCI race. We didn't really understand the UCI point system or anything, but Brady had lined up in the back, and I watched him go from back row, and especially with a crash at the beginning, to 10th in a short track race in a matter of 20 minutes.
Dude.
And I was like, dude, this kid's on another level. Like,
He's
bro,
a beast.
and everyone's like, look, who is this kid? Everyone's wondering, who is this kid?
Yeah.
He just came out of nowhere, and that was crazy. And then also watching like Dane get like 16th or something, he passed so many people too. Like everyone was looking at him too, like, oh, who are these kids? And what's Imperium? Like what? Like they can't even read it.
Dude, no, what about for you though?
Yeah, talk about yourself. Don't hype me up.
I'd say my favorite race would have to be Arkansas, racing in the mud. Like I for some reason, each day we were in Arkansas, and Bray could even testify this. For some reason, I just got the muddiest days when I would race. Like for the second race, they had to close the course and just make up like a random course.
No.
It was some random 6-minute course or something, or 7-minute course that they just had to make up last minute. And it was just like, okay, I didn't pre-ride this. It's just whatever. I pre-wrote the drops, but everything else is just whatever. And it really was. And then when I get into it, I'm like, oh, well, I've already ridden all this stuff in the race before. And like this week I rode like these drops and some of these rock sections and stuff like that. So really, it didn't factor me a lot. And I had got my vaccine like 3 days before that too, and all that like together, and still I managed to pull through with a pretty good result.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'd say my second one was the second Vail race. I had like really good power numbers. And I just felt good that day. Like I could just attack anything.
Keep going, keep going. Yeah. And honestly, it's so different racing. Like in SoCal, a lot of the races are just very fast. So like Arkansas, that it wasn't fast, right? It was just a bunch.
Dude, I think I had like a 11 mile per hour average or 12 mile per hour average for my race.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for how
it's so
muddy and sticky it was.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so tough, but there's like so many rocks and roots and like things that just slow you down where it's super intense, but you just like it's just not that fast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as I said, like average speed for a race could be like 10 miles per hour. It's
And
crazy.
it's just going all out to do 10.
And it's like, dude, that races like Vail Lake and stuff. Your
It's like
average speed
17.
would be like 17. It's like a road race. It's like
Yeah, like Lake
Yeah.
Paris. Remember Lake Paris? Yeah, me and Brady had actually the only time we really ever raced together was in Lake Paris, and that was a fun story that day because that was the first night race of that 2019 season or
Yeah.
2020 season actually it was.
The only race of that.
Yeah, it was the only one, and me
Yep.
and Brady had raced it together, and we were just like in a group together. It felt like a road race because it was so fast, and I remember that when Brady went to get like a feed or something, or he went to drop his bottle and catch a feed on the coming into the first lap, he dropped he just threw it out there and then he missed the feed. I actually got I got my feed. I drank, so I was like, all right, I got my feed, cool. But it was weird because I was in the back and no one got a feed, like absolutely no one. No one had really thought about it. I did, but I guess because it was so fast that we got it done with like within under an hour. Like
Yeah.
we had like the fastest times I think out of all the JV groups, and really everyone's just on the like no one's like everyone's taking it seriously. Like no one's fooling around really. So
Yeah.
and so we go into these corners, they're flat corners. So of course I have to fall behind during that time, but then I catch back up, chase back on, and we slow down a little bit on the road. And Brady goes, "I dropped my bottle. Like, what? Can you give me a sip?" I go, "Here, just take it."
Can you give me a sip? Just a little bit.
And I went on to win.
Dude, yes, I remember. Yeah, that was legendary. And
Sick.
Dylan, you still got like fourth or fifth?
I got like fourth, but I lost this for third. I was so mad. But then I looked back on it. I didn't really understand a lot of tactics and stuff like that.
Yes.
I realized
Like how to
I should've
position
done that
yourself.
a little differently. Like I maybe should have put Watts down here instead of putting Watts down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that all factored in really.
Yeah. What about you, Brady? What was one of your highlights for this year?
I'd say like starting from the beginning of the year, like the whole Vail Lake series was super sick. Just like back to back, like podiums, just every single race, just racing with my guys, Corbin.
Teammates, yeah, with the guys.
Yeah, just like me, Corbin, Dane, Aiden, we just like always break away and just like always get like top three. So that was like a big confidence booster, and just like it was just really fun and like racing with those guys. And yeah, so those races were super sick. And then in terms of like UCI races this year, it was obviously like my first season doing UCI races, and there was a lot of ups but like a lot of downs too. So like as Dylan said, the first UCI race I did in Arkansas, like started in dead last in the short track and fought my way up to 10th, which was pretty cool. And then did pretty well in the XC too, got like 15th or something, also started in the back. Then I got like the COVID vaccine and I did pretty bad the second week. So that was pretty disappointing. And then Soho was not good either. I had a really bad performance there. And those were the only UCI races I did. And then nationals came along.
Yeah.
Yeah, did pretty okay at that.
I know that this was your first year doing some of those larger events, because they didn't they didn't have him in 2020 when that would have been a good year to do it because you would have been an upper end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been good, but like even this year, I still have another year in 17, 18, so I'm really lucky to have that. So
Yeah,
I kind of treated this year as like I learned so much of
exactly.
racing, like a lot of racing experience, and I like know exactly what to do next time. So it was a big help. So I mean, you wish you could have better results here and there or whatever, but it was probably better that I had a little bit of poorer performance. So I know what to do next time.
Exactly. And I think so much goes from like some familiarity and having a good season of training and everything like that. So okay, so going into these are some of the ending questions I ask kind of everyone. What are do you guys have like a favorite book or podcast that you guys are listening to and why? Do you guys listen to podcasts?
No.
Is it like podcasts?
Do you guys, what about music? Good album?
Oh, the new Kanye album's super good.
You love Donda?
Yeah,
Donda.
Donda? Okay, what about you, Brady?
Yeah, I wish I came prepared with something because I don't really read that much.
No, it's okay. You can do
Or,
music. I know you like Steve Lacy. He's good.
yeah,
You
we were
like
talking about Doom, remember?
Doom?
I can't remember
Yes.
that.
He's so good. So
Yeah,
old though, but still good.
dude, I have like a 60-hour playlist of like a bunch of
60
Yeah.
hours. There's no way you did individual songs, dude. You definitely just threw a
Oh,
bunch of albums in there.
no, like individual songs.
No way.
Dude, yeah, I know. I have to look at his playlist because I can't create a playlist as legendary as Brady's.
Oh my, is that on Spotify?
No, it's on
No,
Apple Music.
Oh.
yeah. But weird.
I guess no one can follow you.
Everyone hates on Apple Music, but
It's not as good.
I mean,
we're not even gonna argue that.
yeah, we could do another podcast about that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a whole argument in itself.
And then what piece of advice would you guys give your younger selves?
Focus on yourself, really. Like, do not care about anyone else, because when you get caught up in what everyone else is doing, you don't know how to be your own self.
Yeah. Just like follow your own path, stay true to yourself, focus on yourself, better yourself, that kind of thing.
Yeah, keep working, keep grinding.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You guys embody that.
Yes, sir.
Cool. What is there anything else that you wanted to say or anything like that? What's your guys' Instagram so people can follow you?
Yeah. My Instagram is Brady White 12. And then follow me on Strava too.
Yes.
Brady White.
I can't focus it.
We can't see it.
But it's at Dylan, but DYLNN and then White.
Dylan White. Okay.
So two ends with up the A.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Brady White 12. All right. Thank you guys for taking the time. I know that last week Brady had a little bit of bad luck with was it poison oak?
Yeah, I had poison oak for like a whole 2 weeks.
Dude, what about now? You feel better now?
Yeah, it turned around pretty good the past few days. So I've been riding like the past 3 days and it's been going well, but I'm definitely out of shape.
Dude, yeah. If there's a time to be out of shape though, it's kind of now. So
yeah, I beg to differ on that Hardman pre-ride, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's coming up super quick. But yeah, thanks for I know I texted you guys last week to set this up. So thanks for doing this. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.